Topics for this week, but let's get into the nitty gritty, man. Let's just start off with a banger. Elden Ring. We finally got a damn trailer with a little gameplay inside of that sucker.
Pretty good trailer, dude.
It was a long one, and it looked magnificent, man. But you guys tell me what y'all thought about that.
So I'll just start with the coolest thing in my opinion was the mount combat. This mount feature, it brings it just adds a pacing. I feel like that Souls games sometimes need. You have your small, like you're crawling through the dungeon, but now
you mean like you're cool?
You can ride in there.
You're cool.
You're cool. You're cool. Who's your cool?
You don't know who your cool is?
You're cool. You're cool.
That's the mount from Princess Mononoke. Do you remember that movie, Princess Mononoke?
Nah.
That's one of the
Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched that one.
Do you remember you saw that movie?
I'm trying to remember.
You should add a picture. You're cool next to the mount in Elden Ring.
You're cool is the name of the mount?
Yeah, how did that movie go? Because I think I seen it a long time ago.
There's demons in the world. They're like animals, and they're like gods. They call them gods. They're big creatures. And the main character, his arm gets touched by one of the demons, and it starts to infect his body, turn him into a demon. So he has to make a trip to like the forest, to the forest god, to cleanse his arm. But that arm, it's like, because it's demon infused, it's like extra strong. And so he can use it to become extra strong. But the more he uses it, the more it starts to corrupt him. And he has his trusty steed, his buddy, Yakul. And it's like this kind of like elk looking, horse, and has the horns just like on. And it can do like otherworldly jumps. Like you see it like run, and it like leaps really far. Just like in this story, that the creature is kind of doing.
I'll try to pull up a picture.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch that movie. I think I seen.
It's my favorite Studio Ghibli movie.
I like. What's that one? Howl's Castle.
Yeah. What about Howl's Moving Castle? That's in this game too, right? You guys see the Howl's Moving Castle? Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, dude. That's why I brought it up. That's
Do you
my
remember
favorite.
Howl's Moving Castle in this game?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Remember the creature walking around with the bell on its belly? If you could see like a building up there, you could see like a whole castle up. If you remember. I don't know. Go back and watch. I watched the trailer quite a few times. Just so.
All right. So yeah. So I'll go back to the things I like. The mount combat was awesome.
It's like I have studied every detail on this thing.
I need to go back and watch it
Castle, man.
But yeah, I loved Howl's Moving Castle.
I feel like there's lots of Studio Ghibli in this game, man.
So I'm gonna ask you guys: does it feel like this is like rudimentary, like a Souls game?
I think so. Absolutely.
The way everything looks, it just looks like another Souls game.
All the
like
combat, if you look at the combat maneuvers, like his step back with the arrow, that's in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Or his move where he does the flip.
Yeah.
That's a Dark Souls. Almost everything's Dark Souls.
Right.
Dude.
And the way the NPCs kind of slash and their like movements. But dude, I love the mounts in this game. Like just the fact that you can fight a boss on a mount.
Dude, did you notice if you really looked carefully,
with your microscope?
Dude, he double jumped in the air. The mount.
The mount
when
double jumped?
When he was fighting the dragon that caught the lightning bolt.
I remember that.
He was on his mount fighting that dragon, and then he jumped, and then jumped again. Isn't
there a part 2 where like the mount just like scales the wall? It's like
yeah, dude. He runs, and there's like this little spiritual puddle.
See, now y'all making me watch this shit again.
He flies into the air, dude.
I was like, what the hell is that?
Or you jumped off. Remember when you jumped off your mount? You're like riding, and then like you jumped off your mount, and your mount just vanished.
Yeah, that was weird.
Into like nothingness.
But yeah,
dude, this is really neat. The mount combat is like
the mount is crazy. I feel like
that's new, way new to Dark Souls.
I feel like it's going to elevate the game to a whole nother level. It's just going to make it more fluid.
It's going to change the pace.
Make some pace faster. You know what I mean? Because sometimes Dark Souls, when you're trekking through this area for a while, you need a little break. So it'd be cool to jump on a mount, dash to somewhere.
I don't know about you all, but this was like we needed this in the sense that like we're seeing all these open world games come out, right? Horizon, Far Cry. We're talking about all these open world games, but in my opinion, even though clearly this is running on like the PS4 engine, right, of Dark Souls, this is not running on what Bluepoint used, right, for Demon Souls. Clearly the graphics, it doesn't matter. They have so much depth and character in every little thing that they do. The world, the bosses, the enemies are on like a whole nother level of creativity that it's almost hard to like put into words, right? Like when you see the creatures walking in the spike, or the king drops, or the one king, the chick that puts the arm on, that dash was so pretty looking. Like when she stabbed you, it's so elegant and just like perfect that I can't believe it. They are, in my opinion, just the absolute best at their worlds, at the lore and the character, because the world itself is like a character, and it's on another level of like fantasy to me than any other game you've ever seen or even coming out. And I'm shocked by them. What I want to ask you guys was, this is the first time From Software has ever done an open world game. What do you think they adopt from this current algorithm of open world game making, the current standard, algorithm that all open world games have, outpost destruction or chase this guy, quit. And what do you think, how does it look different? Like, what direction do you think like they're going with their open world style? Is it going to be that repetitive, monotonous kind of like open world we're used to exploring in, or what do you think? What did you guys what do you think that's going to be? This seems different to me.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be an open world, but with some rails to it, in the sense that you have your mount, you're going to traverse the lands, but then you're going to get somewhere, and you're going to have to go through some sort of, is this a big castle? So I feel like the open world is going to be kind of like the vessel to kind of travel. But when you get somewhere with like a boss or something like that, I feel like it's going to go back to its roots of like Souls. Like you get to trek through this area that's kind of, there's one path, kill the boss, and then bam, you're back in the open.
So you're thinking along the lines of like a Shadow of Colossus.
Getting two areas or something like that.
Shadow of the Colossus was kind of like that. You played Shadow of the Colossus, right?
Yeah, I never played this one.
Where you had an open world, and you were running in one direction, and you just kind of like started following a path, and you'd eventually hit like a Titan.
Yeah, something like that.
But you can kind of go in your own way. You can kind of go whatever direction you wanted to go and fight the Titans in whatever order you wanted to fight them in.
Yeah.
But the world was open. That's a really cool idea. I think you might be right, because I was trying to think like, how do you make a Dark Souls game, which is so like on rails, like following this path to move forward? Because that's really what Souls like is. You're creeping, right? You're creeping forward, down the corridor. What's down that corridor? What's down that corridor? But to open it up, how do you retain that Dark Souls feel in an open world? And that's a really good point. Maybe you're just going like, the world is open, but you're going to like a zone. That's like a castle,
small area,
and that becomes like a level, right? Or a biome, and then you move to like another biome.
Or I could see it being kind of just like any other Souls game, but like on a blown up version. You know what I mean? Just like a lot more corridors and areas that you can go into and go around and stuff like that. Maybe a couple more pathways that you could choose from, as opposed to just like, having to go this way. I mean, there are like options that you can take as far as like where you want to start, but you ultimately, in order to get to like this boss, you have to take this path, that boss you have to take that path or whatever. But maybe there's other ways to approach the boss, of the area that you're trying to get to. So maybe that's how they make it more
because also there are definitely things in the world though too that are outside of like the biomes, because I think I agree with you, Mark. I think it's going to be like biome centric, where like the world is like just a hub to like different tentacles to biomes, right? But clearly there are things in the world, because he was attacking like those guys carrying like loot, like they were carrying like gold or whatever on that train, and they're going to be wandering in the world, and you want to go find them. It also seemed like there's going to be random world encounters, like you're just in the world and you come across a Titan or whatever, and you fight it. It's just really weird to think about an open world game from them, to like conceptualize it, because we know what to expect with the standard AAA open world game. This just doesn't feel like it's going to be that. I bet you're right though. It's going to be more like Shadow of Colossus.
And one thing too, like it was giving me like a lot of like the Castlevania Netflix vibes too. But did you notice that part with the werewolf? Was that you that turns into a werewolf?
I was asking the same question. Or is that a boss?
Or is that a boss? Because I was looking at its armor and it looked like kind of like the standard knight armor without a helmet.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So I was like,
that was us.
Is that an option in the game? So that was, there's a lot of mystery in the trailer. This trailer's a lot better than, remember that
was just a leak.
That weird leak we saw before?
Yeah. And it kind of made it look like it was something totally different, right?
Yeah.
Because it had the words going across the screen. It kind of seemed like it was more lighthearted, or whatever. The thing that I'm
also
hoping,
you can jump in this game.
Oh, that's true.
You notice that?
Nice.
You can jump like Sekiro.
You're right.
Yeah.
It feels like they just took all their engines, right, and just kind of mashed
Try
it
to put them
into
together,
one.
or some of the better aspects
because you could
of
also
each of their
stealth
games.
in Sekiro. In this game, clearly, you could stealth in this game, it looked like. Anyways, what were you saying?
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but anyways, I just think like I'm wondering also how the loot will work. Is it going to be like a traditional open world game with the loot?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to have or is it going to be standard Dark Souls with the loot?
Where you opening up chests and stuff like that?
Yeah, where you're opening up chests and you find just like a piece of armor, right? Or
finding
is it
some
going to be
items
more
on people?
customizable? How RPG are they going here? I hope they go the standard Dark Souls RPG route, not the Sekiro route.
Right.
Because I like finding loot and I like finding gear and changing my weapons.
That's what makes you scour the whole map and enjoy the map.
Exactly.
That's your incentive to actually play the game.
Yes, that's your number one incentive.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was going to say that I hope that in the coming days, because this game is supposed to come out in 2022, January
22nd.
22nd.
It's
yeah.
22nd,
21st.
21st, 2022 or 22nd,
22nd.
I think it's
Was it
Mark put
22nd?
in the
I thought
chat.
it was January
I'm almost positive it was
21st, 2022.
Okay.
But regardless, it's in January.
Yeah, January
towards the
20
end.
something.
And the fact that it's so close, I'm hoping that we hear a lot more from it.
21st.
But
21st,
but
my
what
bad.
I wanna find out like soon is how much story are they gonna give us? Because throughout the years of Dark Souls, we are never given like a straight up story. And having like a lot of story while we play through. It's normally like we get like the synopsis, a quick synopsis, and then the world kind of tells the story of decay and things like that. And then you kind of get a little bit here and there, and then there's a lot of lore written down and armor and things like that. But like, will this be like almost like a story-driven game because George R. R. Martin is behind it?
I think it's going to be more than the standard Dark Souls storytelling.
You think it's still going to be limited?
But I think it's going to still be wrapped in an allure of mystery like all Dark Souls games are. That's one of the funnest parts, in my opinion, about Dark Souls is just walking around and trying to figure out what's going on. You're just kind of like, you're just in awe of what you're witnessing.
Yeah.
I do think, though, like the motivations might be a little different. Like in Dark Souls, you're more so like clinging on to like the last vestiges of hope. Like you're like the last hope for like humanity. And you're like clinging on to the last bit of fire, right?
You and millions other.
Yeah, like we're like in this one, it seemed like like some of the dialogue in there was like, what was it like the flame of ambition or whatever, implying like you're like, what do they call them? Ashens or something. They were calling the people like what you were, and like the narration was like, and by the flame of ambition or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Almost implying like you're out there like just to get stronger for yourself. You're not trying to like, save the world or trying to, cling on to this last bit of hope. You're out there really just because you yourself want to.
You just grinding.
You trying to become the greatest, right? So there's a different like mindset direction with the story here, for sure. And there was quite a bit of like a dialogue for a Dark Souls game, like the guy talking or narrating,
right?
The king or whoever was talking, implying like we have to, right? I mean, George R. R. Martin's a writer.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really like an artist where he's like drawing conceptual a world. He writes, and so like I'm really hoping we get a little bit more, but I don't want them to trounce the old way. I like some of the mystery and just like what in the heck is here, and you just learn about it through the world. Like as you go forward, you see the bodies, it just starts to kind of make sense. Oh, there must have been a fight here or a brawl here or a disease came through here. You just kind of start learning about it as you kind of move through the world. I like that way of storytelling too, that they do better than anyone. And so but we'll see. I would like some more, like you're saying, dialogue.
For sure.
really, because the dialogue was cool.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff he was saying was really cool. You know, it's like, oh man, this is so good. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It makes me think it is done. Why do you think, I wanted to ask you this too, why do you think they're waiting until, because it's literally the first month of the year. Why do you think they're waiting for 2022 rather than releasing it in 2021?
So,
too crowded?
have you seen some of the games that are supposed to be coming out in 2022?
Yeah, like big ones, like
God of
what?
War Ragnarok. What else? There was another one. There was another
Horizon
big
Forbidden
one.
West, right?
I think Horizon. Yeah. So what if you're trying to compete with some heavy hitters to see who's the best game around? What if you like, okay, if I look at this year, right, it's been tainted by COVID, you know what I mean? So why come out and rule this year? Why don't I come out with something, you know, that's really
But now
gonna give me
they're
a challenge?
with those other games too.
Yeah.
They're all going to be 2022. Everyone pushed it to next year.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's 2022.
God
But
of
if
War
your
now,
game comes
Horizon.
out top and there's like a lot of heavy hidden games, like I can only imagine what next year's Game of the Years list is going to be like, right? There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out. I have no clue when freaking Hogwarts Legacy is going to be
That's
coming
all
out.
next year.
But at whatever
Gotham
point,
Knights.
Gotham Knights,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
there's like so
Dude,
many that have been
2022 is
pushed.
probably going to be one of the best years in gaming we've seen in a long time.
Man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, shit, Halo Infinite should push that
I'm
shit
just
back.
saying, like, I think Elden Ring would have been the unquestioned, unmitigated champion of the world, game of the year, had they come out this year.
For sure.
Now
But-
they have a lot of like competition. They would have just been like guaranteed that title.
That's
I think.
true.
But
That's
I don't
true.
think that they shine away from that competition. And I think
You
that
might be right.
I think that because
You might
this
be
game
right.
is different, it's different from all of the other Souls games, right? Because of these different aspects that they're adding in there. Now this is a little bit more approachable by other people who might have just stayed away from Souls games because it's too hard or whatever, or they're not ready for that challenge. Maybe this is a little bit more digestible, you know, as far as challenging goes.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an actual difficulty level that you can adjust.
I can't wait, man.
So,
We'll see.
you know, who
I
knows?
just can't wait.
Can't
But-
wait, dude.
It's so exciting.
I don't really know what
crazy.
they're thinking. Maybe they just want the extra year just to finalize and make everything like
I'm
perfect.
sure,
Try
I'm
to work
sure.
some of the
But
glitches.
it's like Mark
but-
said, like everything you saw was from Dark Souls 3, right?
Have you come across the glitch? Sorry, sidetrack. Have you come across the glitch in Ratchet and Clank?
Just the one I was telling you, like with the boxes,
when you
when
say you're
like
stuck
you get stuck
between-
between two boxes, you're
Yeah.
kind of just floating like you're falling,
Yeah.
but you don't fall. That's the only glitch I've come across.
So I had a glitch that I was going in. I forgot what area I was in. It was like I can't remember what the type of area I was in, but there was like a bunch of different slopes that like levels or whatever that you could, you know, run up on. And I had died, and when I respawned, I spawned in an area that had nothing. You could see like little lines of like the area that you could move, and you could see your guy walking around, but you couldn't see anything else, and it was just like clear background. So it was like
I will say
it
this:
was like glitched out.
I don't know if you
I had
got
to
there
reload.
yet, but you get to the part where you get to the fur balls. Rivet's trying to save, and there's that the gun vendor's there, and then right behind her is the purple void.
No.
Okay, well when you get to that point, after you're done riding on the snail,
Yeah.
there's a purple void there, and you're supposed to walk up to that with your glove and break it.
Yeah.
Well, I was just still exploring. I didn't want to move to the next section yet, so I was kind of running around. And then there's another path you can take that like takes you to the next zone. So
Yeah.
I just kind of started walking down there, and it triggered a fight scene, and a dinosaur came out, and there was goons or whatever over there, and they were all fighting the dinosaur. So I'll just sit back and let them kill that dinosaur for me. But they, of course, they were taking forever, and they were very slow. So I started to help, and I killed the dinosaur, and I killed all the goons, and I was like, well, there isn't only anything over here right now, so I'll just go back and start the next thing. So I went back and I started that thing, and I did that. I came back out, and the dinosaur was back. I had to refight the dinosaur over again,
Wow.
They made you
That
do the cutscene
sucked.
over.
and there was no goons now.
Oh, so it was just a
The
dinosaur
goons
for
didn't
you to fight by
respawn,
itself?
but the dinosaur did. So I was wondering if that
Damn.
was a glitch. I was like,
Nah,
dude,
I'll
I should
try
have just
it.
waited.
I wonder
I
if I
should've
should
just
try it the
waited.
same way.
I should have just waited. Yeah, see what happens to you.
Yeah.
I was like, I should have just waited and killed it once rather than having to kill it twice.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got more
get
rare
loot, right?
titanium though.
Okay.
So I got
So
more
the dinosaur
rare
drops
titanium,
loot
yeah,
like that?
so it dropped the
Nice.
same loot twice for me,
Okay.
which was cool. So I got
that might work out if I do
But
it
I
and
was
it
just really
works out.
surprised. I was like, that's so weird. Like the game doesn't remember I killed that thing. It's
Yeah.
weird. Anyways.
But yes.
I love you, me.